Hello everyone. As many of you know, Animate is starting this Wednesday, and I just wanted to give you an overview of what this new small group is going to be like, and I hope that you'll consider participating. Animate is not a class, it's really an invitation to join a conversation. So, what's the conversation? Father Nick often talks about being a 21st century Christian, and I really think that's a good way to get at what Animate is about. I think being a 21st century Christian kind of entails bringing everything into the conversation. Everything you know about science, your experiences with religion, your real desire to have a connection with God, your values, your struggles, and most importantly, what you want. I emphasize what you want because I think that underneath all the pleasantries, a reason that a lot of us are Christians is because we want something more than what our five senses will give us out of this experience of our life. I had a professor in college who, his name was Jerry Root, and he's one of the two leading scholars on C.S. Lewis in the world right now, and he was giving a presentation on C.S. Lewis in Cambridge and had high table with all of these, brilliant professor type people afterwards, and not very many of them are Christians, and they asked him, "So Jerry, why are you a Christian?" And he said, "Because I know my inadequacies and they devastate me." And I think that's really it. We want something more than ourselves, and we're trying to figure out how to get it. I think sometimes religion can sort of offer a cheap stamp of approval to deal with those inadequacies. Say the sinner's prayer, go to confession, go to church this many times, have communion this way, not that way, when that doesn't really do very much. And Jesus, ironically, never offered a one-size-fits-all prescription for transformation. It was different for every single person he encountered. Go wash your eyes in the river, sell half of what you have, all these different kinds of things. So I really enjoy Animate because it's very similar. It doesn't give you a one-size-fits-all, but at the same time, it really invites you to join that conversation about what real transformation can look like. So Animate has three parts. We have Animate Faith, Bible, Practices. We did Animate Faith last year, so I'm going to give you a really quick overview on what that was like if you're thinking of joining us for Bible. They don't build on each other, but I think it's just helpful for you to have a little overview of what Animate Faith was about, because it will help you understand what Animate Bible and Practices are also about. So here's the journal for Animate Faith. 7 sessions. The first one is on God, and this one we really looked at the apophatic and cataphatic traditions. So that's using images to talk about God, but then that's the cataphatic, but then also recognizing that any image like a king or a father that we use for God is inadequate and will limit our ability to really think about God. And that's the apophatic coming in. So trying to navigate between these two to talk about God in an honest way. The second one was religion, and in this one, Lillian McDaniel really talked about the importance of staying rooted in a tradition. I think some people like to kind of pick a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and she likens that to ending up with a bouquet of a bunch of beautiful flowers, but bouquets don't last very long. So it's much better to be a single flower rooted in a tradition with lots of other single rooted flowers, other people around you to support you and to enrich your journey. The third session was on Jesus, and here we really looked at the fact that Jesus asked people to follow him. He didn't ask people to believe in him. So this idea that Christianity is more about following and doing than just, believing certain things, and what the result of actually following and actually taking action can have in your life. The fourth session was on salvation, and here we really looked at every single time Jesus talked about salvation, it was the Greek verb was in present tense. So he was really talking about something that you could experience right here in the here and now, not something just waiting for you down the road. The fourth session was on the cross, and this session really stuck with me. I think we usually think of Jesus hanging on the cross, which Jesus was hanging on the cross, but it was God hanging on the cross. So if you're looking for God, you can find him on the cross. And, you know, it's not just kind of this substitutionary thing that God, you know, took out his wrath on Jesus. He was showing you how much he would suffer for you. And he was showing you what his character was. So the sixth session was on the Bible, and they really explored this one more in Animate Bible. But Lauren Winter here is our resident Episcopalian. I actually know her. She was helping teach a class while I was at Wheaton College, and she's phenomenal. But anyway, so we looked at, you know, just kind of the spectrum of viewing the Bible as inerrant, infallible, inspired to inspirational, and different ways of reading scripture that can be really life-giving, like, you know, reading it at a coffee shop or at an airport. How these different parables and stories can really come to life when you're in a different setting other than a sanctuary. And the last one was the church. And this was about the church being an imperfect family. It had a lot of similar themes to the one about staying rooted in a tradition, how important it is to stick with your church family through the thick and thin, and how transformation is really depends on that. So that was Animate Faith in about a minute or so there. Animate Bible and Animate Practices are here, and I'm going to provide 2 links. There's actually a little like 1 to 2 minute video intro for each of the 7 sessions for Animate Bible and Practices, and if you're really into it, you can watch all 14 of them, but I'll provide a link to my favorite 2 from each one so that you can watch those and get a feel for what these 2 Animate series are going to be about. So thanks so much. Wednesday, January 14th at 5:30 for the soup supper. If you want to come, 6 o'clock for the class till 7:15. And we're going to keep on going for 7 weeks, take a break for Lent, and then come back on the same schedule for Animate Practices the Wednesday after Easter. I'm also offering a combo class starting on Sundays, January 25th. We're going to do 1 from each night, and I'm actually really excited about that. I think it'll be kind of cool to even see how the videos relate to one another. So that'll continue the 2nd and the 4th Sundays of each month for 7 times until I think it's May 20th would be the last one, from 3:30 to 5 o'clock with childcare. So I hope to see you there. And I'm going to also post these videos online so that if you can't come or at all, or if you end up missing one, you could watch them and still join in the conversation with your friends who may be coming to the class. I really hope Animate can be something that people are just talking about at coffee hour. You know, hey, did you see the new Animate video this week? I really like this or that, or made me think about this. So thank you so much, and I'm really looking forward to it.